In this video, I'm going to show you how you can extend Copilot Chat to give it additional functionality that is much more personalized for your users without having to pay extra for consumption or pay any extra licensing fees. So here I am on my Copilot Chat screen within my Microsoft 365 tenant. And you can tell by the fact that I don't have the work and web toggle that this is Copilot Chat, that I don't have Copilot for Microsoft 365 licensing. And this Copilot Chat is available to everyone under their Microsoft 365 licensing. You can even see we've got this little green dot here that tells you that, hey, you've got enterprise data protection turned on. So this is a great way that your users can take advantage of a large language model without having to use ChatGPT and keep your all your content that you're typing in there secure. However, Copilot Chat does not have access to any of your company data. So it can't search SharePoint, your OneDrive, it can't look at your Teams messages, your emails. It can't do any of that out of the box. Now, if you want to pay for some consumption pricing, you can give it access to that data. But again, you would have to pay for that, and you're going to get charged per message for those transactions. However, if you look at my screen here, over in the top right, I have these agents listed. So these are agents that I created within my Copilot Chat that give me a more personalized experience. So for instance, this acronym helper, I can ask about acronyms that are in my organization. I can ask, what does AIM stand for? And Copilot Chat is going to respond with what AIM stands for, as well as give me a link that takes me to learn about more information about that acronym. And because I've got this whole, Copilot experience, I can also say, well, hey, why don't you give me a quiz on our acronyms? And these aren't acronyms from the web. These are acronyms for my organization. So you can see it's saying, sure, I'll give you a quiz. And I'll say ARC stands for Arkansas Razorbacks, because I'm from Arkansas, cook-off. And it says, nice try. ARC stands for Automated Resource Coordination, gives me the link, and wants to know if I want to continue with the quiz, right? So this is kind of like a really simple, personalized acronym assistant that is just for acronyms in my organization that you can go and deploy today. I also have a PTO helper. This one will answer questions about PTO, like how do we accrue PTO? And it'll go through and it'll tell me how PTO is actually accrued, what our policies are. It gives me a link to go visit for PTO requests. I can even ask it again, how do I request PTO? Even though it already answered that, I'll ask it again. And it tells you the process where to submit it from. I've got an intranet helper. And this helper, I can say things like, where do I go to find benefits? So if you'll notice, all of these helpers are giving me information that is specific to my organization, but it is not actually searching that content. It is not actually being connected to the graph. So I'm not getting charged for any consumption for these agents. So I can deploy these across my entire tenant to all of my users without having to get any extra costs or licensing to use that. So how do you do that? Well, let me walk you through how to do that, and we will build one of these agents, and it just takes just a few minutes. So the first thing you need to do is you need to download and install Visual Studio Code. Now I know this is a developer tool, but don't let that freak you out. This is actually a very simple process, and this is just the tool we're using to do the job. So after you install Visual Studio Code, open it up, and over here on the right hand side, I want you to click on Extensions. From within Extensions, you want to search for the Teams Toolkit. And here we can see it's our first choice. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and I'm going to install it. And I'm going to go ahead and install the pre-release version because I like the newest stuff. But you could install the release version as well as if you wanted to. Okay, now that I have the Teams Toolkit installed, you can see I now have a little Teams icon on the left here. And I can click on that. And what I'm going to do is I am going to create a new app. And you can see all these different projects that you now have available to you because you installed the Teams Toolkit. You can do a declarative agent, a custom engine agent, bot, tab, all these other things. But we're going to be creating a declarative agent. So let's specify declarative agent. And then it's asking us if we want to do an action or no action. And by adding an action, we can actually create an agent that reaches out to some third-party APIs and can access other systems. But we're not going to do that. We're going to be doing the no action one because this agent's not going to connect to any specific knowledge base. It's not going to perform any actions. And now we have to say where we're going to store that agent on our computer. So let me go ahead and browse to my dev folder. And I will call this agent, I'm going to call it the Employee Appreciation Event. Because we're going to create an agent that gives people information about our Employee Appreciation Event that's coming up so they can take part in that. So it opens up our project for us over here on the left-hand side. And if we expand, well, and actually what we have right here, let's walk through this real quick. This is a declarative agent that I could actually go and deploy right now. I could just provision this, deploy it, and we would have an agent that didn't do anything special. It would actually act just like Copilot Chat at this point. But if we expand the files over here, you see there is this one file called instruction.txt. Now this file tells the agent how to behave. So by default, it just says, you know, you are a declarative agent to answer questions. So this is just, but this instructions tells the agent how to behave and how to interact with people. And this is where we're going to do all of our magic for this agent. So what I did is I actually went to Copilot and I told it that I wanted it to give me the instructions for an agent that would give me information about an employee appreciation event. And it generated this text for me. You'd of course create this text for you manually, but it's nice to have something generated for you by Copilot to start with. So as you can see, based upon the instructions that I have now, these detailed instructions tell the assistant that it's designed to provide information about this event. It has the event details like the date, time, the name of it. Also has links for registration, like information about parking, about food and drinks. So a lot of the details about this event are in the instructions for this agent. And then we have some important instructions at the bottom telling the agent to only use the details provided in this prompt. So what we've essentially created is a specialized agent here that is only using the information in the prompt to give it a very specific task. So this is an employee appreciation agent built to answer questions about our event. Okay, so now all I have to do is save this file. And if you want to, there's also this manifest file, and this has some configuration information about the event, like the short and long description. This is where you'd come and change the accent colors and all that thing about all that stuff about your agent, as well as when you updated the version, because you wanted to maybe update the agent to add more information, you could increment the version number that is here in this file as well, right here. But for now, I am just going to come back over to the Teams Toolkit, and I'm going to click this provision button in order to actually build the package for this agent. So I'm going to click on that. It may prompt you the first time that you use the Teams Toolkit to log in, and if you do, just log in with your credentials. As you can see, I've logged in with my credentials, and it's told me, look, I don't have a Copilot license. Copilot access is disabled, but we can still create and build this agent. So it says the agent was provisioned successfully, so now we need to install it. To install it, we would come into the Teams Admin Center because these are installed as Teams apps. So what's great about this is that these agents are incredibly easy to deploy and incredibly easy to govern, because you can't just have anybody in your organization go out and deploy these to the Teams Admin Center. Or at least I hope you don't allow that. I hope you have Teams admin whose role is to go through and add these. So this is strictly enforced by your Teams admins, and not everybody can go and deploy these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a new app in the Teams Admin Center, and I am going to find that file. So C dev employee appreciation event. Then we're going to go to that app package build, And this is where you're going to have a compressed zip file that is the file that you upload. So I'm going to upload that package. It tells us the package has been added. If I go and search for it by name over here, employee, you can see here it is. The employee appreciation event has been deployed. And now if I go into Copilot, let's go ahead and refresh it here. You can see now in the top right we have the employee appreciation event Copilot. So if I click on that, I can say things like, tell me about the event. It tells me the information about the event, as well as links to get more information about it. I can say, where do I park? Information about parking, the link to get to know more about parking. Will there be food? It gives information about the food. So again, all this information is coming from those instructions, and it's allowing the user to be able to find out what they need with links that will actually take them to the place to get more information. Now, again, these agents aren't connected directly to any of your data, so that means you're not having to pay additional consumption licensing for it, but you can easily link them to the data they need to get to find that information. What's also great about these agents is they get users used to using agents. So as you look at expanding the agent adoption in your organization, by creating a few of these key agents, you can get users used to using agents. You can give them personalized information that is easily governable and is a great stepping stone to really jump into agents and build some full-blown agents that do things like take actions, connect to your third-party business systems, and can do much more powerful things. So I hope you learned something. I hope you go and play with these, and thanks for watching.